Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Kathleen A. Hintlian Athletic Field in Arlington, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys lacrosse contest between the hosting Cougars of Arlington Catholic High School and the visiting Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin School Falcons. I know regular fans of this channel are probably wondering, wait a minute, where's Brookline? What's going on here? Well, I am an independent freelancer, so I am able to cover games other than Brookline. That's just they're the ones that most frequently hire me. But today we're doing something a little different. Happy to be able to do it. Out here in Arlington, I was hired by one of the lacrosse parents from Cambridge. And this one should be a fun one here today. Coming into this game, the Cambridge Rindge Falcons coming in with a record of 4 wins and 10 losses, but still en route to a playoff berth if the season were to end today. The most recent MIAA Division I power rankings came out yesterday morning and had the Falcons 29th in Division I. And of course, as everyone knows, the top 32 teams in the power rankings make it to the dance, as well as any team with a 500 or better record. Cambridge playing outside of their division here against Arlington Catholic. The Cougars ranked 13th in the Division III power rankings that came out yesterday with a strong record of 12 wins and 4 losses. One of those 12 wins for Arlington came in Cambridge against the Falcons back on April 12th as the Cougars bested the Falcons 11-7 in that one. So the Cougars hoping to keep the pattern going with this one, while the Falcons hoping for some payback from the earlier season home loss. Once again, thank you all for tuning in today. If you know of any other Cambridge or Arlington fans that you think might want to tune in and watch this live stream, be sure to send them this link so they can find it. And of course, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat here on YouTube, or if you're not able to access YouTube's live chat system, or if you're not comfortable using it, you can also send me an email. You can see my email there in that list of URLs in the bottom right corner of the screen right there. And those comments could be anything. It could be something as simple as go Cambridge or go Arlington. You know, no matter who you're rooting for, we appreciate fans bringing the good vibes and showing support in the live chat, no matter which team you are supporting. And then if you want to do something a little bit more specific, you want to shout out a specific player. Maybe you're tuning in to this live stream to watch a family member or a friend. You want to give them a shout out in the live chat. That's always good. Or maybe you want to let us know where it is you're tuning in from. With these online live streams that can be watched all over the world, it can be fun to sometimes hear about the different places people are tuning in from. Sometimes different states and sometimes even different countries. It can just be really cool and add some extra flavor to the experience to know that. On the more important side, though, another reason to comment, if you notice anything going wrong with the live stream, if there's anything wrong with the video or the audio or anything like that, then I encourage you to speak up and say something. You never know, it might be something I don't notice on my end. Maybe the sound is coming in fine through my headset, but it's not coming in fine for you guys watching at home, and it's something I need to fix. You know, you never know, it might be something I don't notice, and it might be something that's easy for me to fix. You know, just a quick, you know, press a button here or something and the problem is solved. The point is, it never hurts to speak up. And I extend that same sentiment to the last reason that I would recommend commentary in the live chat or an email for, which is if I am pronouncing any of these players' names incorrectly. You know, I want to do these student athletes their due honor and respect of getting their names right when I say them during my commentary of this game. And, you know, sometimes my first guess on a pronunciation is not going to be correct. You know, I'm not perfect, and I'm perfectly fine with the fact that I'm not perfect. So I'm not too proud to be corrected by folks in the live chat. You're not bothering me, you're not insulting me, and you're not burdening me or anything like that. I know some people are like, oh, my name sounds funny and it's hard for people to say. I don't want to be a burden. No. Throw that mindset out the window when it comes to me. I want the chance to get these names right. And you're doing me a favor when you give me those corrections, because not only does it allow me to, further respect the players putting on this show for us out on the field today, but it also, kind of puts my mind at ease to know for sure that I'm getting it right and I'm not just relying on my first guess. So don't hold back with that. And on that note, let's take a look at the rosters coming in to today's game. We'll start over here on our left with the hosting Arlington Catholic Cougars, wearing their white jerseys, dark blue shorts and jersey numbers with yellow outlines. Going in order of jersey number for Arlington Catholic, first off we have number 2, Brody Lawhorn. Next, number 3, Jack Duffy. Number 4, Cameron Saija. Number 5, Kirsten Keene. Number 8, William Connealy. Number 9, KL Colarulo. Number 10, Dante Costco. Number 11, Braden Boxanowski. Number 12, Ryan Constantine. Number 13, the goalie, Ryan Crane. Number 14, Tyler Heldenberg. Number 15, Paxton Riley. Number 16, Andrew Landry. Number 17, Stephen Constantine. Number 18, Nicholas Tashian. Number 19, Nicholas Byford. Number 21, Tyler Tracy. Number 22, Joshua Tranchina. Number 23, William Zanni. Number 24, David Santo. Number 25, Ryan Porcaro. Number 26, Tom Pote. And number 27, Jack Raposa. Head coach of the Arlington Catholic boys lacrosse team is Dave Santo. So that's the roster for Arlington Catholic. Now we move over to our right, where we look at the roster for the Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin School Falcons. The Falcons wearing black jerseys with silver jersey numbers today. And going in order of jersey number for the Falcons, first off, we have number 2, Colin Foley. Next, number 3, Jasper Adeletto. Number 6, Zach Shea. Number 7, the co-captain and goalie, River Doyle. Next, number 11, Kamai Green. Number 12, Wiley Welch. Number 13, Lucas Berman. Number 14, Xander Witters. Number 16, Ellis Anderson. Number 19, co-captain Clemens Summersgill. Number 21, Damian Jolie. Number 22, co-captain Roy Bellows. Number 27, Oscar Carell. Number 31, co-captain Owen Goldstein. And number 35, Eric Stauffer. Head coach of the Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin School boys lacrosse team is Alex McFerrin. So those are our rosters coming into today. You can see that scoreboard clock there on the top left corner of your screen right now. We got a little over 2 minutes to go before we get this one started here today. Slated for a 3 p.m. start time here on Saturday. And this one should be a good one. All right, we're about to get this game underway in just a sec. The team's coming out onto the field. And I actually just was informed of a really interesting factoid here. Cambridge co-captain and lead scorer Owen Goldstein is 1 goal away from career goal number 150. So odds are we're going to be witness to a milestone here today. I think that's going to be pretty fun. A little bit cloudy out here today. Slight chance of some light rain coming down at some point during this game. We're dry for now, and that's good. As the guy manning all the electrical equipment, I am especially grateful for the lack of precipitation thus far. But a few drops might come down any minute. The Falcons and Cougars split their regular season series last year, and Arlington Catholic got the win in their first matchup in Cambridge back on April 12th by an 11-7 final. Few raindrops dropping out here, not a lot so far, and I've got a raincoat ready to throw over my equipment if it gets severe. The goalies taking their spots in the cages. River Doyle for Cambridge. For Arlington, Ryan Crane. They set up in the face-off circle for the first of 4 12-minute quarters. Falcons versus Cougars, here we go. The face-off is won by Arlington, skipped over to William Connealy. Connealy running in after taking that one from Stephen Constantine, the face-off specialist for the Cougars. Long pass goes over to number 9, KL Colarulo. Up top to Connealy. Connealy moving to his right, floats pass down, completes it to number 12, Ryan Constantine. Back up to Connealy, goes up top Back to 17, Stephen Constantine. Trying to spin off his man. Looking, nowhere to go. Gives back to Conneely. Conneely back over to Colarulo. Back up top, Conneely. Now back over to Stephen Constantine. Swings it over to his left to number 24, David Santo. Santo trying to approach. Spins around. Floats pass inside. Has a man shot off the post. Nicholas Toshjian had an open look there, but his shot clanks off the right side post, and that pass to the middle aimed at Stephen Constantine was missed. Loose ball fought for and recovered by the Cougars. Toshjian recovers it in the mess there. Swings a pass over to Ryan Constantine, up top to Conneely. Now back over to Stephen Constantine. Constantine trying to come around a couple defenders, going around the back, looking. Long pass out, Santo. Long shot missed wide. Arlington covering the back there to keep possession as they were the closest to the out-of-bounds line off the missed shot. Brief stop there as an extra ball rolled onto the field. Play resumes here. Stephen Constantine with the ball. Holding it in the corner. Drops it briefly, but now picks it up. Starts running along that back line. Getting some space. Pass through. Shot saved by River Doyle. Toshjian had another close-range chance as that time a player lost his footing and the shot sails high from Ryan Constantine after Colarulo lost his footing there, but a great save from River Doyle as once again Toshjian cannot score from close range. Now this is Conneely with the ball. Pass to Santo and back to Conneely. Conneely starts an approach, pass away, pass inside, long shot, kicked away by Doyle, and this one's rolling all the way to midfield. He's going to keep rolling. Ball's still loose, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by number 25, Ryan Porcaro. And Cambridge will finally get their first offensive possession of the day after holding off the Arlington offense for about 2.5 minutes there. Long pass across, juggled, but picked up by Clemens Summersgill. Summersgill, pass forward, finds Ellis Anderson. Anderson pass back complete, finds Goldstein. Owen Goldstein moving to his right. Off a screen, waving around, approaching, shoots and missed it high. But it's going to stay with Cambridge as Colin Foley back there to control the possession there. Remember, Goldstein just one goal away from career goal number 150. It's Goldstein with the ball, trying to spin off his man, creates the separation, shoots and scores! And there it is, career goal number 150 for the Cambridge co-captain, Owen Goldstein. And this one, he just did all by himself, pure isolation play. One spin, second spin, defender couldn't stay with him, goes for the underhand, low to high shot there. And Goldstein with his milestone score puts Cambridge on the board first. Face-off is won again by Stephen Constantine for Arlington. Pass misses Santo. Loose ball popped up in the air, still deflecting, and it's going to be chased down by Conneely. Conneely, long pass, complete to Colarulo. Pass forward, and again it's walled off by the defense. Recovered shot, again turned aside. Great defense from River Doyle. As the Cougars still searching for their first goal. They maintain possession here. Santo with the ball. Santo looking around, throws it up top to Conneely. Conneely over to Colarulo. Back to Conneely. Now back to Stephen Constantine. Now up to Santo. Santo surveying his options. Trying to juke. Spins Throws a pass behind the net, finds Ryan Constantine. Pass inside, Colarulo lost the ball. Knocked loose, great defense there from number 22, Roy Bellows, but the loose ball picked up again by Arlington, but a long pass misses Toshjian and bounces out of bounds. Cornelia was going for a long pass through traffic there and just sailed it. Goldstein, pass dropped there, and it's going to be picked up by the Cougars, number 10, Dante Costco. Costco running up that left side. Decides to roll it back to Stephen Constantine. Constantine approaching, speeding through the defense, charging and shot. Missed it, might have been deflected by River Doyle. It's going to bounce out of bounds. A few more raindrops falling out here. I'm going to throw a raincoat over my laptop here just to be on the safe side. Up top it goes to Connealy. Connealy charging in. Shot is saved by Doyle. Covers up the ball. River Doyle off to a good start in net for the Falcons. Pass it out to Bellows. Bellows. Long pass across. Finds Summersgill, number 19. Pass to the middle. This is Goldstein, who's going to run it across midfield. Run it into the attack zone, into touch there. Pass along the back they go. It gets to Colin Foley. Foley passes it back out to Bellows. Bellows getting around the defender, charging in, long stick shot, and it's saved there by Ryan Crane. Crane pass finds Paxton Riley. Riley running with it, gets surrounded by the defense, knocked loose by Goldstein, picked up by Foley. Foley lost the ball in a sea of defenders there, and it's taken back by the Cougars. This is Toshjian. Toshjian runs it into touch. Pass back up top to Riley. Now over to Santo. Just over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Santo trying to spin. Long shot missed wide. Ryan Constantine back there to cover the out of bounds. Pass out. Finds Colarulo. Colarulo trying to come around. Passes out to Toshjian. Now across Riley. Riley charging in. Long shot saved again by Doyle. River Doyle struggling a bit to pick up the loose ball. He almost rolled that one into the net. That would have been bad for Cambridge, but picks it up, and now the Falcons with the ball, but Doyle misses that pass badly, and it's going to be free ball for Arlington. Rain really starting to come down out here in Arlington. It's a 1-0 game in the Falcons' favor so far. Stephen Constantine throws it back out to Connealy. Connealy trying to get past his defender. Pass back Ryan Constantine. Pass inside Santo, and Santo puts it in. David Santo ties us up at 1 apiece off the assist from Ryan Constantine. One to one now the mark. Just over 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. As we go back to the face-off circle, Arlington's been in control of the face-offs so far. And once again, Stephen Constantine strong in the circle. Rolls that one forward, completes it to Santo. Santo, who just scored the equalizer with the ball on the left side. Pass to the back. Finds Ryan Constantine. Ryan Constantine jukes off his man. Cutting across behind the net. Still juking, coming out the back. Tries a fancy shot over his shoulder there, but misses wide. Rebound chased down by Santo. Pass goes up top. Colarulo, long shot, missed wide, and it's going to stay with Arlington. Here's hoping this rain doesn't last too long. So we've got a bit of a sun shower out here in Arlington. Santo spins off his man. Shot missed wide again. It's going to stay with Arlington for the time being. Ryan Constantine cutting across the back. Looking. Now floats it over to Colarulo. Colarulo escapes his defender, charges in, shoots high. Cougars having a little trouble finishing at the net early in this one. Just over 2 minutes left now in the quarter. Colarulo tangled up with Bellows, and Bellows wrenches the ball free. Long pass, bouncing, deflects. Still deflecting around, and it's picked up by Summersgill for Cambridge. And they call what looks to be an offsides call against Arlington, so... Or is it on Cambridge? Yeah, looks like it was against Arlington. Goldstein with the ball. Minute 45 left here in the first as Goldstein comes down the left side. Pass out here to number 12, Wiley Welch. Welch rolls it back to Bellows. Bellows. Pass forward to number 14, Xander Witters. Back to Bellows and back to Witters. Witters looking pass down to the corner to number 3, Jasper Adeletto. Pass across the back to Foley. Works it out to Witters. Up top, Bellows. Bellows spins, approaching, still coming around, still holding the ball. His shot is kicked aside there by Crane. Rolls out of bounds, and Arlington was closest to that out of bounds line. So they get possession, but the pass is dropped, and it's picked up by Summersgill. 30 seconds to go here in the period. Summersgill lost the ball and lost his footing as he got knocked over. Loose ball still being fought for. Out of bounds, Cambridge ball. Good box out job by Goldstein there. As he now goes for a long pass across, finds his man. Shot missed, high and wide. And they're going to say Arlington ball there as Crane got back fast enough to cover that one. Long shot missed there by Welch, I believe. Just 5 seconds left, so the quarter will end very soon. And a hard collision between Stephen Constantine and Owen Goldstein. As now the period comes to an end. The rain lightening up a tiny bit here. But we had some heavy showers there for a few minutes there in the first period as just taking a moment to wipe down my camera. But overall, I think we're okay. Our score after one, the Cambridge Rindge and Latin School Falcons 1, the Arlington Catholic Cougars 1. Lone goals, just one goal for each team. Owen Goldstein scoring for the Falcons, his 150th career goal. And for Arlington Catholic, They answered with the equalizer by David Santo, assisted by Ryan Constantine. And we'll see how these teams adjust for the second quarter. For much of that quarter, Arlington Catholic had the edge in terms of the possession game. They were doing much better on ground balls than Cambridge, but towards the end of that quarter, Cambridge had started doing a better job winning those loose balls, and that gave them some more opportunities on offense. So we'll see how that shakes out in the second quarter. That's clearly going to be a big factor, winning those 50-50 balls to give your team a chance to score, as so far both defenses pretty locked in. Some good performances from both netminders thus far. River Doyle for Cambridge, Ryan Crane for Arlington. And now we're back in the face-off circle. A fresh 12 minutes on the clock for the second quarter. Arlington again dominating on the face-offs. They've won every single one so far, as this one is taken by Conneely. Conneely running down the left side, floats pass to Ryan Constantine. Now across to Colarulo. Now throws that one out to Stephen Constantine. Bounce pass across to Conneely. Conneely setting up at the top. Looking, pass over to Tashjian. Back to Conneely. And that pass misses Colarulo. The unforced error will turn the ball over, and Cambridge will take it. Bellows throws the pass over to Doyle. Doyle across to Summersgill. Summersgill up to Goldstein. Goldstein knifing through the defenders. Still just taking it himself. Runs it into the attack area, all on his own here. Coming around. Trying to spin off his man. That double spin does not work out this time as the ball's knocked loose. Goldstein boxes out his defender, number 5, Kirsten Keene, to be able to pick up that ball, but Keene covering Goldstein tightly. Goldstein trying to spin off him again, cutting across, spins around, forces the shot, missed it wide. And it's going to be Arlington ball, as Cambridge not able to race to that back line fast enough. Pass floated up to Crane. Crane throws it back to number 4, Cameron Saija. Saija running unopposed. His pass gets up to Colarulo. Pass down low to Ryan Constantine. Pass back out to Colarulo. Up top, Stephen Constantine. Now over to Tashjian. Up to Santo. Back to Ryan Constantine. Looking. Pass to Santo. Pass inside. Conneely hit as he shot and missed it wide. Last minute defensive crash out by, or closeout I should say, by Kamai Green as he crashed into Conneely to force the missed shot. Colarulo knocked loose, taken away by Bellows, but Bellows couldn't hold on. Picked up by Santo in the chaos. Long shot is in. David Santo taking advantage of the chaos there, as Arlington takes the 2-1 lead. Santo, his second goal of the day. Nine minutes and 6 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. Rain seems to have cleared out now. And here we go on the face-off. It's a scramble for it, picked up now by Ryan Constantine, thrown forward to Santo. Now up to Steven Constantine, spins off his man, coming out of the corner. Defense crashes and he loses the ball, picked up by Summersgill. Summersgill pass, misses Goldstein. And the loose ball going to be picked up there by, I believe, number 23, William Zanni. Pass over to Keene, and now that pass dropped, and it's picked up by Ellis Anderson for Cambridge. And it looks like we got a timeout called by the Falcons here with 8 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. Whoops, let me adjust my score bug there. Wasn't really able to do that as much with the rain. We got a note in the live chat from Dominic Usinowitz asking, where is this, Mass? And yes, this is in Arlington, Massachusetts is where we are right now. Here at Hintleyan Field for this game between the Cambridge Rindge and Latin School Falcons and the Arlington Catholic Cougars. Still a low-scoring game thus far. And Dominic Usinowitz letting us know that he is watching from New Jersey. That is awesome, Dominic. Hope you're enjoying it so far. And I also heard from Owen Goldstein's father, Michael Goldstein, that his parents, Owen's grandparents, are watching from Colorado. So shout out to them as well. Like I said before the game, I love hearing about all the different places that people tune in from. Really just shows one of the more positive aspects of the internet and how it can bring people together. Out of the timeout. Cambridge ball. Summersgill throws it across to Bellows. Bellows throws it up, misses Adeletto, but it's recovered by Witters. Witters. Pass back Bellows. Bellows back up to Witters. And back to Bellows. Surveying his options. Looks like he's starting an approach. Spins. Cutting across the top. Lost the ball. Goldstein tried to pick it up but couldn't. Bellows trying to pick it up, and he does. Just before it goes out of bounds. Throws pass back. Misses. Another pass missed as both teams have been struggling there, and Cambridge thinking offsides there, coming back across that midfield line, and so it's given to Arlington on the violation there. Steven Constantine with the ball after taking the pass from his brother Ryan. Now a long pass out to Connealy. Connealy weaving through, charging in, shot saved by River Doyle. River Doyle off to a good start in net for the Falcons so far today, doing a good job keeping the Falcons in it. Summersgill holding on to the ball despite the pressure from Connealy. Pass a little less than he would have liked, but it does get to Bellows. Bellows, long pass. And we got another whistle. It gives the ball to Arlington, but it's taken away quickly by number 21, Damian Jolie. Now Adeletto running around the back. Pass. Foley's pass blocked there by, I believe, Porcaro, and it's picked up by Keene. Keane pass across the back, and it's given now to the goalie, Ryan Crane. Just over 6 minutes left in the second quarter of what has continued to be a low-scoring game thus far. 2-1, the Cougars lead the Falcons. Crane running it across midfield himself. Dropped the ball when trying to pass it, and it's picked up by Witters. The net currently empty for the Cougars. Witters running with it. Crane sprinting back to the net. Pass back, Goldstein fakes, cutting around. Goalie's back, charging in, shoots, and scores. Owen Goldstein ties it back up with his second goal of the day. Ryan Crane was able to get back in net, but Goldstein able to get around a couple defenders and send a shot through a bit of traffic to that low right corner there for his second score. Goldstein so strong on those isolation plays that his ability to just cut around defenders all by himself, as he's got 2 unassisted scores thus far today, and we're tied up at 2 apiece. .5:47 on the clock here. Face-off is going to be chased down once again by Stephen Constantine. And he spins, cuts across, shoots off the crossbar and straight up in the air. And it's going to go out the back. Ryan Constantine right there to keep possession with Arlington. Constantine trying to cut around his man. Nowhere to go, and they're going to call the warding violation on Ryan Constantine. They said he threw out the elbow, and so that's going to be an offensive foul. Rare violation call there. Ellis Anderson with the ball for the Falcons. Pass over to Witters. Witters running down the right side. Escapes the entanglement. Passes away to Adeletto. Now to the back, Welch. Welch up top, Goldstein. Goldstein. Getting an isolation set up here, trying to cut around Keane. He does. Help comes, bounces off him, spins, lost his footing, tries a desperate shot, sails it over the crossbar, out of bounds, but Foley covering back there to keep it with the Falcons. Boy, if that shot would have gone in, that would have been crazy. Adeletto, cross to Foley. Out now to number 13, Lucas Berman. Berman over to Witters. Witters running down the left side. Now retreats back. Coming down the left again, and this time passes it down to Foley. Foley. To Witters, and then to Adeletto. Back to Witters, dropped, but Adeletto recovers. Adeletto looking around. Trying to cut across the top. Shoots, and it's saved by Crane. Loose ball, still loose. Rolling towards midfield, but it's picked up by Bellows. Bellows had a couple of nice ground ball pickups this quarter. Bounce pass is complete to Welch. Welch loses his footing, knocked over, but they're going to say it was an illegal hit there by the Arlington defense. And so Cambridge, I think they're saying it was a hit after Welch had lost the ball. You can't hit somebody who does not have possession. And so I think that's what the violation call was there against Arlington. Goldstein off the screen from Bellows, and they're going to call an illegal screen on Bellows as he knocks Keane off his feet there. And the pass whiffed, but picked back up by number 10, Dante Costco. Long pass missed. Sorry, I was looking at my roster for a second. Out of bounds, Cambridge ball. And it looks like, I think we got another timeout called here by Cambridge with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the second. All squared at 2 apiece. Sorry about that, allergy season. Dominic Usinowitz saying, can hear the cheers from Colorado, referring to Owen Goldstein's grandparents cheering him on from the Rocky Mountain area. So again, both defenses locking in, both offenses kind of struggling a bit to win their matchups and create enough separation. And when they do, their shots just aren't quite finishing. We've seen a couple shots go off the post. We've seen a couple of them sail wide. That's been more the case for Arlington, where they've gotten more shot opportunities, but they've just struggled with finishing. Cambridge, meanwhile, trying to find the more openings to create more shot opportunities for themselves, as outside of a couple of nice isolation plays for Goldstein, they haven't generated too many great looks. I got a note in my email from John Allen, watching from Tucson, Arizona. Dave Santos' cousins Brooke and Hannah Lindenau. So we got fans tuning in from out of state on both sides today, and I love to see it. Both the Goldstein and Santo families represented here, and those names representing all 4 goals combined between these two teams so far. Out of the timeout, Cambridge with the ball, Green holding it, pass up top to Goldstein. Goldstein floats it over to Berman. Berman pass to Adeletto. Now over to Foley. Foley pass, and a shot from Welch is saved. Welch tried to recover the rebound, could not, and the loose ball picked up by Ryan Crane. Crane and Doyle both doing great jobs in net today for their respective teams, as Crane, looking for the pass, gets it up to Tashjian. Tashjian runs it into touch there. Surveying his options. Pass up top to Stephen Constantine. Now escaping his defender, trying to cut in towards the net. He does. Fakes and scores. Stephen Constantine gives the Cougars back the lead with his first goal of the day. You know, just created a little bit of separation from his defender, then started to slow down as if he was going to just jog down to a spot behind the net. But then once the defense started to lax off of him a bit, he started sprinting, cut in right in front of the net, and just faked high and shot low to get it past Doyle. Minute 45 left in the second here. Back to the face-off circle. This one won again by Stephen Constantine. Takes off running, charging in. Shot this time saved by River Doyle. Loose ball, bit of a struggle again, but Doyle able to pick it up. Throws a long pass up to Berman. Berman across midfield. Gets by one defender and into touch as he runs down the right side. Pass across, deflected by Keene. That's going to go out of bounds, stay Cambridge ball. When it's an out of bounds pass, it's the last team to touch it rather than, you know, who is closest to the out of bounds line, which is the rule for when it's an out of bounds shot. Important distinction. Goldstein with the ball, covered tight by Keene. Goldstein into the corner. Doesn't get much separation from the screen, so he gives it to Witters. Witters walking around with it. 45 seconds left in the period as the pass goes to Foley. Now back to Witters. Now out to Bellows. Bellows from the top. Tried an approach, walled off. Long pass, dropped. Could not complete to Adeletto as it's popped up in the air. And chased down by Costco, but intercepted. Goldstein shoots, and it's saved by Crane. Heads-up play by Ryan Crane after a heads-up play by Goldstein. Goldstein cutting around the defender, charging in, shoots, and this time he scores. Owen Goldstein ties it back up once again for Cambridge. As he took the pass from Witters after he recovered the loose ball off the initial great save by Ryan Crane. And Goldstein with his third goal of the day. Amazingly, when he had what looked to be a gimme look on that interception right in front of the net, could not get it past Crane. But then a shot from mid-range there after weaving around defenders, and he makes that one happen. Not sure what happened there, but Cambridge gets the face-off, but it matters little as there were only seconds left in the quarter. And now it is halftime. Our score at the half, the Cambridge Rindge and Latin School Falcons 3, the Arlington Catholic Cougars 3. All 3 goals for the Falcons coming from Owen Goldstein, the co-captain, who now has 152 career goals. Came into this one with 149, his first goal, the milestone, and then 2 more goals to match pace with the Cougars so far. David Santo, the leading scorer for Arlington with 2 goals. Stephen Constantine with 1 goal, and Ryan Constantine with 1 assist. All right, it is halftime. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I will be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello again, back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Hintley and Field here in Arlington, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of this high school varsity boys lacrosse contest between the Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin School Falcons and the Arlington Catholic High School Cougars. All knotted up at 3 apiece through the first 2 quarters of play today. Still anyone's game. But the face-off far from anyone's game, as Arlington has been dominant on that, and they pick it up again. William Connelly running it up for the Cougars, charging in from the left, cutting across the back, coming out the back, but he is chased down and contained by Damian Jolie. Pass along the back, almost knocks the net over, and a shot walled off again by River Doyle. Shot attempted by Ryan Constantine there, no dice. Ellis Anderson gives it back to Doyle. Doyle's shot, his pass stolen away, and Ryan Constantine. What a play by Ryan Constantine, blocking the pass from the goalie for both a steal and a wide open look at the net. And despite getting tangled up with Doyle there, he gets the shot off and skips it in for his first goal of the day to give the Cougars back the lead early here in the third. Boy, didn't see that one coming. Not every day you see a goal like that. Off the face-off, it is still being dominated by Stephen Constantine and the Arlington Catholic Cougars as he wins another one. He brings the ball into touch and then passes it back to Connelly. Now over to Nicholas Tashjian. Back up top to Connelly. Connelly trying to spin off his man. Pass disrupted into traffic, and it's recovered by the Falcons, by Lucas Berman. His pass briefly dropped but recovered by Anderson. Passed it up to Roy Bellows. Bellows with a long stick. It's knocked out of his pocket, and it was last touched by him, and so a takeaway there by Connelly as he forces that ball out of bounds without touching the ball. Pass up, Ryan Constantine from the corner. Pass up now to Santo. Santo holding it along the back. Now sprinting out of the back. Defense comes to meet him. Flips a pass. Stephen Constantine. Now coming around the back. A flag thrown. A delayed penalty against Cambridge coming. Ryan Constantine can't get the shot off as Jolie hits him from behind. But that loose ball recovery is going to be temporary for Cambridge, as they were called for the delayed penalty there. Clemens Summersgill coming off to serve the penalty here. And so it'll be a man-up advantage for the Cougars as they try and see if they can take the first multi-goal lead from either team so far today. They go up top to Stephen Constantine. Over to Connelly, back to Stephen Constantine, now over and around. Santo to the back to Ryan Constantine. Up top, Stephen Constantine, now over to Colarulo, weaves around, shot kicked aside by Doyle, and then the follow-up shot over the shoulder is caught by Doyle. 2 great saves from the Cambridge netminder to keep this a 1-score game. Lucas Berman running with it into the attack area. Pass to Goldstein. Quick pass up. Shot is saved by Ryan Crane off the shot from Colin Foley. Foley pass misses. Intended for Berman. Loose ball being chased after. Knocked free. Going across midfield. And it's picked up by Stephen Constantine. And he just keeps up the speed. Sprinting in. Shoots. Misses. And they're going to call what looks to be, I think they called an illegal screen on Arlington there, so the ball is going to go to Cambridge. But boy, some Herculean efforts in net from River Doyle, helping to keep Cambridge in this one, despite the big possession time difference in favor of the Cougars. Long pass up to Doyle. Doyle pass complete to Summersgill, who has finished serving the penalty. Flips the pass over, long shot from Welch is blocked and knocked loose, recovered by Summersgill, but it's lost out of the pocket, and it's picked up now by Ryan Crane. Some strong defensive play that time, I believe, from William Zanni for Arlington. Pass from Crane goes up to Conneely. Conneely up top to Tashian, and he's just going to roll it over to Stephen Constantine. Constantine trying to spin off Summersgill, juking around, gets the separation, but now Green is there to meet him on defense. Around the back. Trying to spin off Green now. Pass out, dropped, couldn't complete with Santo, and it's picked up by Jolie. Jolie sprinting it across midfield and into touch here. And floats the pass to the back to Foley. Foley coming out the back, looking around. Cutting across the top. Awaiting reinforcements now, gives a pass over to Xander Witters. Now throws it down to Jasper Adaletta. It's Adaletta, not Adeletto. Some helpful fans helped correct me on that one during the halftime break. Shout out to them. Adaletta. Across the top. Gives it to Witters. Witters to Goldstein. Goldstein being covered like a blanket by Kirsten Keene. Trying to race down that right side. Help arrives. They're trying to contain Goldstein as best they can, as he has scored all 3 of the Falcons' goals so far. Gets back up on his feet and spins, fighting through. How is he getting through? He lost the ball at the last second there, and it could not be tapped forward, but it is recovered there by Foley. Foley resets the play, throws it up top to Wiley Welch. Welch floats pass up to Adaletta. Adaletta spins, tangled up with his defender, tried to get the pass away, no dice. And it's picked up but knocked loose again. Foley staying after the ball. Several players getting in on this play, and it's picked up by Welch. Welch pass, dropped, couldn't complete to Goldstein. Loose ball still being fought for, and it's covered up by Crane. Less than 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Crane barely gets that underhanded pass away, and it's picked up off the bounces by Ryan Constantine. Flips it to Colarulo. Colarulo loses his footing, brought to the ground by the defense. Flag is thrown. Colarulo escaping the defense. Shot saved by Doyle, but it'll be another penalty against the Cambridge defense. River Doyle continuing to stand on his head in net for the Falcons here today. Five minutes and 34 seconds left here in the third, as Arlington again with the man-up advantage. Colarulo up top, Conneely, back to Colarulo. Now down to Ryan Constantine, back to Colarulo again. And back to Ryan Constantine. Pass inside is blocked by Summersgill, but the loose ball still being scrummed over, and it's going to be picked up by Doyle. Another flag thrown, and with Cambridge controlling the ball, this must be a delayed penalty against Arlington, so a big opportunity for Cambridge here. Anderson with the ball, pass it back. That is Berman throwing a long pass, missing Welch badly. But I'm not sure what's going to happen here, as we got another, I think this is going to stay Cambridge ball because of the penalty against Arlington. Looks like it was called on Ryan Constantine. And so now Cambridge with the man-up advantage as they have finished serving their penalty. .448 on, excuse me, 4:48 on the clock here in the third. Sorry about that. Witters starting with the ball, coming out of the corner. Pass to Bellows and to Goldstein. Now over to Berman and back to Goldstein. Goldstein pass inside, dropped by Welch. Loose ball recovered by Bellows. Bellows approaches, shoots, and sails it high. And it's going to stay with the Falcons as Foley was back there to cover. Cambridge has got to find a way to get some other guys on the score sheet besides just Goldstein. But Goldstein winds, fires, and he misses high. Stays with Cambridge as both Foley and Witters were rushing back there to cover. Witters up to Foley, or up to Bellows rather. Now over to Goldstein and to Berman. Back to Bellows. Bellows over to Foley. Down to Goldstein. Goldstein weaving around, cutting in, and scores! Owen Goldstein, his fourth goal of the day, and he ties it up again for the Falcons. This time takes it off the assist from Colin Foley. First assisted score for Cambridge today. And once again, this tight game is all knotted up. We've been tied at every score mark so far. 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, and now 4-4. Setting up for the face-off. It's won by Stephen Constantine once again as his domination in the circle continues. Constantine escapes the defense, charging in all alone, and he scores. The Cambridge defense over-pursued on the double team there, and once Constantine got out of that sandwich of Falcons defenders, there was nothing between him and the net except the goalie, and he gets it past Doyle there to put Arlington back in the lead 5-4. A quick answer from the Cougars. And with 3:46 on the clock here in the third, it is once again a one-goal lead for Arlington, but we've got our first face-off win for Cambridge as it's won by Wiley Welch. Flag thrown against the Arlington defense, and it's going to trigger immediately off a missed pass there. You could see Welch holding his arm after taking that hit from, I want to say, Ryan Constantine. So Cambridge with another chance on the man-up advantage here. 3:31 on the clock here in the third. Berman with the ball, up top Goldstein. Goes over to Bellows, back to Goldstein. Back to Bellows again. And again he goes back to Goldstein, nothing opening up yet. Now Berman goes back to Goldstein. And Bellows goes down to Witters this time, back to Bellows and back to Goldstein. Goldstein starts to approach, weaving in, shot, missed it wide, might have been turned aside by Crane. Cambridge back there to keep possession. Foley to Witters, out to Bellows, Bellows to Goldstein, barely caught that pass. Winds, fires, and saved by Crane. Tried to score that one from downtown, no dice as Ryan Crane walls that one off. Goes for the bouncing pass. Way upfield, it gets to Santo. And we got a timeout called now by Arlington. Two minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock here in the third quarter. Arlington Catholic leading Cambridge, got on autopilot there for a second. Arlington Catholic with 5 goals, Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin with 4 goals. Just one goal scorer so far for Cambridge, that being Owen Goldstein. While for Arlington Catholic, a bit more of a spread. 2 goals each from Stephen Constantine and David Santo, and 1 goal and 1 assist from Ryan Constantine. Out of the timeout. We'll see what the Cougars have planned on offense here. Santo behind the net. Santo trying to spin off his man. Spinning again, shot off the post. Got tangled up with the defenders and couldn't get the shot he wanted away there. Almost got it through, but the post denies him. Rebound picked up by Bellows, who's going to run it across midfield and into the attack zone himself. Pass to the middle, complete. Goldstein hit as he tried to shoot and couldn't get that one away. Keane recovers, sends a bounce pass complete to Tashjian. And we got a whistle there. With 1:50 left in the period. Okay, now we got it going. Tashjian long pass up, Colarulo all by himself, trying to wave around the last defender. Shot walled off again by Doyle. Out of bounds, it's going to stay with Arlington as Ryan Constantine able to outrace Doyle to the back line there. Santo from the back. Pass out, Colarulo. Shot save again by Doyle. Loose ball is picked up by Doyle. What a day he's been having in net. Bellows, pass up Anderson. Anderson trying to escape the entanglement with his defender. Gets the pass away to Goldstein. Goldstein trying to escape Keane. Gets away from him. Charging in. Shoots and scores. Owen Goldstein, the one-man army for Cambridge. His 5th goal. And once again ties it up for the Falcons. And you can see the fight he's had to employ to shake Kirsten Keane loose all day today. Like I said, Keane's been on him like a glove. But Goldstein still able to shake him loose enough times to get 5 scores for Cambridge. Face-off is won again by Arlington as Stephen Constantine flips it back to Conneely. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter, all tied up at 5. Conneely escapes, shoots, and he scores. Once again, the immediate answer from the Cougars, this time William Conneely with his first goal of the game. 6-5, Arlington now leads. 50 seconds left to go in the period. And that's just tough. It's happened twice in a row for Cambridge, where they fought tooth and nail to get the tying score, and then just seconds later, the Cougars answer to take back the lead. Another face-off won by Stephen Constantine. Pass up to Santo. Flips it over to Tashjian. Tashjian racing in. Shot missed wide. Ryan Constantine covering the back, so it will stay with Arlington. Coming out of the back. Pass complete. Shot saved by Doyle. Colarulo had a point-blank look there, but River Doyle with another big save. Running with it now. Just seconds left. Pass up top, Tashjian trying to weave, get a shot, long shot saved by Doyle. And that is how the third quarter will end. One last stop from River Doyle, who is doing everything he can to keep Cambridge in this one. At the end of 3, the score, the Arlington Catholic Cougars 6, the Cambridge Rindge and Latin Falcons 5. All 5 goals for Cambridge coming from Owen Goldstein. For Arlington, a bit more of a spread. 4 different goal scorers for the Cougars. 2 goals each from David Santo and Stephen Constantine. 1 goal and 1 assist from Ryan Constantine. And 1 goal from William Conneely. Oh yes, it's live. It's available right now on YouTube. It stays up there in perpetuity. All right, here we go. 4th and final quarter here in Arlington. This one going to come down to the wire. It's a 1-score game. Arlington in the lead here, but a face-off won by Wiley Welch. Just the 3rd face-off won by Cambridge so far today. Damian Jolie completes the pass ahead to Colin Foley. Foley taking his time, gives the pass back to Welch, and now over to Xander Witters. Witters moving to his right, trying to juke around, no openings, gives it back to Jasper Adaletta, excuse me, back to Witters. Witters cutting across the top, looking, it's not there as the help defense arrives. Gives it now to Foley, back out to Witters. Witters back out to Foley. Inside Welch, quick shot, missed wide. Goldstein back there to make sure possession stays with the Falcons off that missed shot. Goldstein off the screen, coming out the back, trying to spin. Nothing there, flag is coming. Goldstein waving around, shot was turned aside as a swarm of Cougar defenders came in to disrupt that shot, but it'll be a man-up advantage for Cambridge as the delayed penalty was called against the Cougars there. I think one of those defenders' sticks smacked Goldstein in the face there. Thank goodness for these helmets. And it will be Nicholas Tashjian serving the penalty for Arlington. Starting the play here, Cambridge goes up top to Goldstein, gives it over to Bellows. Now over to Witters, back to Bellows, and back up top to Goldstein. Now over to Berman and Foley, back to Lucas Berman, and back up top to Goldstein. Back over to Roy Bellows, and back to Witters again. They're just looking around, looking for an opening in the defensive rotation there. Now Cambridge starting to rotate. Bellows gives it to Foley. Foley rotating around the top, gives to Witters. They keep rotating, looking for the opening, but the pass is missed there. Couldn't be caught by Bellows. Loose ball is recovered by Bellows there with some help from Berman. Throws it ahead. Welch circles back around to the top. Gives to Bellows. Up top, Berman. And now a long shot from Goldstein, missed wide, out of bounds. Stays with Cambridge as Witters and Foley back there to cover for it. Looks like Kirsten Keene is serving the penalty for Arlington, which could be a big opportunity for Cambridge. Keene has been the primary defender on Goldstein all day today. But now the penalty, or no, it was Tashjian serving it. I got confused. And he's back out. Witters tries the low shot, missed it wide. Foley back there to cover. Stays with Cambridge. So the penalty is over as Tashjian back out on the field for the Cougars. Goldstein coming out. Pass out to Foley. Up top, Bellows. Bellows approaching. Gets around a second defender. Charging in. Shot is saved. Rebound, Foley knocked loose. Wild bouncing ball is picked up by Welch. Another big save by Ryan Crane. Witters pass it back to Welch. Welch turns around, gives to Berman. 9 minutes to go in this one. Berman to Bellows. Bellows inside, dropped, but recovered by Welch. Throws up top. The reach catch there by Berman. Gives to Bellows again. Bellows. Help defense arrives, fights his way through, charging in, shot save again by Ryan Crane. What a day for the goalies here. As once again, Ryan Crane denies Roy Bellows, who's had a couple of good looks in the past couple minutes. Berman gives to Foley. Back to Berman. Berman over to Witters. Witters cutting across. Trying to juke back. Nothing there. Flips it over to Foley. Foley off the screen from Bellows. Throws the pass to Welch. Welch runs around the back. Off the screen from Goldstein. Coming out the back. Shoots off the foot of Crane. Loose ball picked up by Bellows. A long shot again, stopped by Crane. Crane now rushing out of the net. And the ball knocked free. Owen Goldstein knocked it loose, but he couldn't pick it up. A loose ball penalty, but it's picked up by Bellows. Bellows tries a shot, kicked aside again by Crane. Picked up by Green this time. Pass out to Berman. I don't see a flag throw. They might not have called the penalty there. I thought it was going to be a penalty on Goldstein. I was or a penalty against the guy who hit Goldstein, but I was mistaken there. Goldstein starts to move, stumbles a bit. Now trying to spin off his man. Pass away, Berman. Pass misses Green, and that's a bad turnover for the Falcons. They were trying to move things fast after Goldstein got double-teamed, see if they could create an opening. No dice, and a timeout called by Arlington Catholic. Arlington has switched the assignment in terms of who is manning up Owen Goldstein. I think they put Kirsten Keene on the bench for a bit of a stretch there. And they've got number 26, Tom Pote, now covering the top Cambridge scorer. 6:51 on the clock here in the fourth and final quarter of regulation. Still a one-goal game. And again, what a day for both goalies, River Doyle and Ryan Crane, putting on a show in net with some great close-range stops. Coming back out of the timeout. Off the Cambridge turnover, it will be Arlington ball. Looks like they're going to have Stephen Constantine carrying the ball out of the timeout. Constantine has been so strong in transition for the Cougars as he gets across midfield and into the attack area, slips past his first defender. Now passes to the back to Ryan Constantine, now out to David Santo, up top William Connealy. Across now to KL Colarulo. Back to Connealy and back to Santo. Connealy again, now over to, I believe, oh no, this is number 2, Brody Lawhorn, as he lost the ball off the defensive pressure there, and it's recovered a bit awkwardly, but it is recovered by River Doyle. Doyle's pass complete up to Berman. Berman being chased by Lawhorn. Runs it, and a pass, and Adaletta wasn't ready for it, and it's intercepted there by Keene. Kirsten Keene running up with it. Pass up to Santo. Santo down into the corner. 5.5 left here in the fourth. Arlington Catholic still leading by 1. This pass goes over to Lawhorn. Now over to Santo and Connealy. Connealy charging in. Pass across. Colarulo lost the ball. Knocked loose by Bellows off the spin move. And the loose ball recovered by Clemens Summersgill. Summersgill gets the pass away. Caught by Bellows. And I think a timeout was just called by Cambridge this time. And it's been so tough for the Cambridge offense today. Only one player able to find the back of the net, and that's Owen Goldstein. We saw Roy Bellows early in this fourth quarter get a couple of nice looks, but Ryan Crane, an absolute wall in net for the Cougars. And no other players have really been able to create any kind of consistent separation from their defenders. And you saw what happened when they tried to take advantage of the double team on Goldstein and do some quick passing to find an open look and just turn the ball over. Five minutes and 2 seconds left in this one. Cambridge trying to tie it up once again. Pass goes up to Berman. Berman running in, thought about the shot, passes wide open, Welch is in! Wiley Welch off the assist from Lucas Berman, and Cambridge has tied the game again. Just a really nice find. Berman thought about the shot, showed shot, but then realized he had Welch wide open right in front of the net, and Welch with the lefty shot there ties it up for the Falcons. We're all even at 6 apiece. The first goal from the Falcons not scored by Owen Goldstein, and it comes at a critical moment. Face-off is flipped from Stephen Constantine back to Conneely. Conneely runs it into touch here. Arlington Catholic has answered back really fast the last 2 times that Cambridge scored. But they're setting up a little slower here as Conneely, holding it on that far side, pass it back to Stephen Constantine. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Constantine over to Conneely. Now over to Santo. Santo goes back to Conneely. Conneely with 1 goal so far today. Pass it up to David Santo, who had 2 goals in the first half. Covered by Berman here. Trying to spin. Spins twice. No openings. Good containment. Good containment by Berman. Quick passing around now. It's Tashjian trying to escape. Charging in. Still has the ball. Forced to pass back. Bounces it to Colarulo. Colarulo gets it away to Conneely. Good recovery by the Cambridge defense there to prevent any openings. Conneely gives it to Stephen Constantine. Off a screen, pass to the back. Now pass inside, Santos spins. Shot, saved by Doyle. Loose ball almost picked up by Colarulo. Disrupted just enough by Doyle to prevent a putback shot. Colarulo still gets the ball. Pass back out, dropped. Loose ball right in front of the net. Bouncing around like crazy. Still bouncing around, and a penalty is called on Cambridge. Some pushing and shoving after the play, as I think they're calling it on the hit that one of the Cambridge players did on Tashjian when the ball was still loose. No penalty, no one serving any penalty there. Conneely looking around, passes to nobody, but it's going to be chased down by Ryan Constantine. Pass back out to Conneely. Looking. This is Tashjian now. Charging in, long shot, save again by Doyle. Loose ball picked up by Jolie. Jolie, long pass. And that's going to bounce too fast for Adaletta. That's going to go out of bounds. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left, and that's a turnover that Cambridge can't afford this late in the game when it's all tied up. Crane with the ball. Gives it to Conneely. Conneely way up to Keene. Keene. Pass, Santo, Santo looking, pass back out, complete to Stephen Constantine, cutting to his right, trying to wave around, shoots off the post. And now a pass missed by Arlington. If this bounces out of bounds, it will not. Saved by Colarulo, but he's pushed out of bounds. Great defensive play by the co-captain Clemens Summersgill to force the takeaway there. Minute 41 left to go. The next score could be the winner. Bellows way up to Anderson. To the middle, Berman. Berman. Pass over to Witters and to Welch. Back to Witters and to Berman. And a timeout is going to be called by Cambridge. as Coach McFerrin going to try and draw up a strategy here for what might just be the last possession of this ball, of regulation at least, I should say. Because, I mean, folks, we're only a minute and 20 seconds away from getting some extra lacrosse here today. This game very well could go into OT. Cambridge with the lone goal of this fourth quarter. It started very low scoring, just one goal from each team in the first quarter, and now just one goal period here in the fourth. That one scored by Wiley Welch, assisted by Lucas Berman. The first goal for Cambridge not scored by co-captain Owen Goldstein, who with the first of his 5 goals today registered his 150th career goal. There's the horn for the timeout. And here we go. We said before the game this was going to be a good one, but I don't think any of us knew just how good this one was going to be. It's coming right down to the wire. Can Cambridge avenge their 11-7 loss to the Cougars back in April? Or will Arlington fend off this last-minute offensive push from the Falcons and possibly complete the regular season sweep? 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock here in the fourth. Cambridge with the ball. They're going to give it to who else but Owen Goldstein. Here we go. Goldstein taking his time. You know, this is kind of like in basketball when they dribble out the clock to make sure they get the last shot of a quarter. Might be the same strategy here, so we might be waiting for a number of seconds for something to happen. Less than a minute left. You can see the clock just above Goldstein there. About 50 seconds to go. Goldstein just walking around here. Now flips it over to Bellows. 35 seconds left as he passes it forward to Witters. Back to Bellows. 25 seconds to go now. Bellows holding the ball. Bellows trying to spin off his man. Spins a second time, cutting across the top, trying to get around the defenders. Still trying to cut around. Harassed by the defense, nothing coming open. Comes around the back, pass intercepted. It's intercepted by Ryan Porcaro for Arlington. And there's not going to be enough time for a last shot. And folks, we are going to overtime. A big takeaway by Ryan Porcaro, number 25 for the Cougars, as Bellows, after getting smothered by 3 defenders there, came around the back, tried to flip a pass back to one of his teammates right in front of the net, but Porcaro read it perfectly for the takeaway. So after 4 quarters of play, we could not decide on a winner, so we're going to need some extra time here at Hintley & Field in Arlington, Massachusetts, as we get set for our first overtime period. They've put 4 minutes on the clock for this first overtime period. And it's very simple. Sudden death. Next goal wins. Who will be the winner? Will it be Cambridge or Arlington? And who will be the hero of the hour for the winning team? It all starts with another face-off. Arlington's been dominant on these today. But this one, a chance for Cambridge is a scrum for the ball, but it is picked up by Stephen Constantine. He's had a number of face-off wins today. That one might be the biggest depending on how this possession goes. Conneely, pass to Santo. Back to Conneely. Back to Santo again. Santo, back to Ryan Constantine, and back to Santo. Santo looking for the screen from Conneely. Now gives it to Conneely. Conneely looking for the approach. Cuts across behind the net. Pass out to Colarulo. Now back to Santo. Santo starting to charge. Spins, shoots, misses wide. Stays with Arlington. That first set took about a minute off of the 4 minutes of the first overtime. Ryan Constantine, pass, intercepted. Huge takeaway by Roy Bellows as Colarulo would have been wide open in front of the net. Instead, now it's Summersgill running it across midfield. Lost the ball, but recovers it. Being harassed by Stephen Constantine, he gets the pass away to Xander Witters. Witters into the attack zone. Cambridge with a chance to end it now. Witters coming around the back. Pass is almost missed, but it is complete to Goldstein. Owen Goldstein setting up for an isolation charge here. Backing down, coming around the back, trying to fit through, and there's not enough room there. And the loose ball is picked up by Stephen Constantine. Constantine sprinting the other way. He's got numbers. Pass across Santo, extra pass missed, but it's picked up. Colarulo, he scores! KL Colarulo scores the game winner in overtime. A chaotic play started in transition with Stephen Constantine sprinting to turn it into a 4-on-3 rush. I think it was Santo he passed it to, and while Santo's pass inside missed its initial target, Colarulo took it off the bounce and was just able to jam it in there for the game winner. The final score here in overtime, the Arlington Catholic Cougars 7, the Cambridge Rindge Falcons 6. Well, what a thriller of a game this one was. Cambridge gave it a heck of a fight, but ultimately they come up just short there as they drop to 4-11 on the season. Arlington Catholic completing the regular season series sweep to improve their record to 13-4. Final individual stat totals. First for Arlington Catholic, I had David Santo with 2 goals and 1 assist, as I think it was Santo who got the game-winning assist there in overtime. Stephen Constantine with 2 goals. Ryan Constantine, 1 goal and 1 assist. And William Conneely and KL Colarulo with 1 goal each, with Colarulo scoring the game winner. For Cambridge, Owen Goldstein led the offense with 5 goals, including his 150th career goal in the first of those 5. Wiley Welch had 1 goal there in the 4th quarter, and Colin Foley and Lucas Berman each had 1 assist. Well, that is going to do it for this broadcast. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there is anything you would like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. Or you can go down below to the description section of the video where you can find out some more information about me, some links that you can also see the URLs for in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score in overtime, Arlington Catholic 7, Cambridge Rindge 6. From Hintlian Field in Arlington, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.